So I think I should finish my Disney Renaissance Part 4 history slash review. Um, Now we're going on to the last two. The first of the last two is Mulan. Now Mulan is my tied with Hunchback as my third favorite film in the Disney Renaissance. It's just again the animation is different and it looks more like watercolor Chinese. Um, it's a little more sharper edges. Sorry, it's helping my dog. But it's still beautiful to look at. It still feels like Disney quality, still very smooth, like you would expect from the Renaissance. Um, the characters, the soldiers are so good, and everything else is great. Mulan is great. Probably my favorite Disney princess. Um, Disney probably female character in general. She's a very strong-willed person. She doesn't really sit around wanting more. And she has a good relationship with her father. She does butt heads with her father, but it's not over like, oh, you just don't understand me. It's because she actually cares for her father. She doesn't want to see her father get hurt. So the basic synopsis is Huns invade China and they need to select soldiers from various families uh, of the male soldiers from various families to go out and fight this war against the Huns. Of course, in the Mufa family, Mulan's dad, I can't remember his name, but is the only male. And he's an older gentleman. He's like late 50s, early 60s. And he's really can't fight anymore. He's like kind of in bad shape. And so Mulan decides to go and dress up as a man to fight in the war against the Huns. And along the way, she picks up her guardian, a Mushu, a cricket. Of course, she doesn't. I mean, unless you count Mulan 2 canon, she doesn't really seem to fall in love with General Shang. There's this really cool general. They kind of just seem like really good friends. And also the soldiers, all they're hilarious. Yeah, the movie again, like Hercules, is really funny. It's not as big as a hot mess as Hercules. It's a little, probably is a better overall movie, but it's still really funny. Again, Eddie Murphy is great as a dragon. Of course, Eddie Murphy's a classic. The soldiers are hilarious. Mulan, her expressions and things are phenomenally hilarious also. The villain is very intimidating, probably Disney's most intimidating villain. Physical wise. I mean, I think there's more overall like Scar and Frollo, but like physical wise, this guy's huge. Like maybe the closest to being his big is two people. Maybe um, Sykes from Oliver and Company. He was big and menacing, and Gaston. Those are the only two. I think this guy is bigger than those guys. He's kind of like this guy. I heard it on a review once of the Disney Renaissance. If it's true, this guy is like a mixture of Scar and Hagrid, and it's true. And it's true. This guy is intimidating as heck. Um, the battle scenes are done well. It's not violent because it's a Disney movie, but it's done very well. The landscapes are beautiful. And songs are great. This one wasn't done by Alan Menken. I think he needed a break, but it's still great. I'll Make a Man Out of You. Great training montage. That whole training montage is so good. So memorable. It's probably the best montage in a Disney movie, honestly. Um, it's overall a really good movie. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the songs. I enjoy the animation. The battles. I enjoy the martial arts, and I enjoy the the father daughter relationship. And I love the chemistry of all the characters. That's what makes it funny. Um, yeah, so I give Mulan. And oh, yeah, I forgot to rank Hercules. Hercules, I give an 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Mulan, I give this a 9, actually a 10 out of 10. I will give it a 10 out of 10. It's as good as Hunchback, in my opinion. It's maybe not as grand or epic as Hunchback, or as serious, but it's just as sweet of a story. It's just as fun as a story. It's just a great story. Now on to my the last one, Tarzan. Tarzan is such a underrated movie. It's almost as underrated as Rescuers Down. You never get anybody talking about it, and I think it's a really fun movie. It's got funny parts, but again, it's a little more serious of a Disney movie. It's done music by Phil Collins. No one sings in the movie except for Nala, but yeah, it's got great music. It's the first time where they've mixed CGI with cartoons before, even in the Disney Renaissance, dating back to Little Mermaid. Heck, dating back to the Dark Age movies like The Great Mouse Detective. But those they're not really heavy. They're only maybe a couple scenes. Whereas Tarzan, it's very most of the jungles and trees are CGI. This is with the exception of the characters and some backgrounds. This is almost a computer generated movie. And it runs pretty well, I think. It does. Pretty seamlessly. So the synopsis is Tarzan, him and his family were abandoned on this island after a shipwreck. His parents were killed by this tiger, and is raised by apes, and he comes across humans in his adult years and falls in love with Jane, Tarzan and Jane, and the dad is kooky. But there's this bad dude named Clayton, who wants to get all the apes and sell them and stuff them. It's kind of a shorter Disney movie, and Tarzan is a more simpler character, but it's still charming. You can tell this guy's got a heart of gold. I really like how they voice act him. He's kind of got this deep, kind of but it's kind of smooth, kind of soft, gentle voice. Jane is kind of annoying, but she's got some fun parts. She's animated well, so is Tarzan. The villain, he's not as intimidating as Shan Yu from Mulan, but he's a good villain. Again, he's kind of like the Pocahontas guy. He's just kind of a greedy guy, but it's got him and Tarzan have a great fight scene, and you over time you learn to hate this guy. The side characters, the sidekicks are great. Tantor, Turk, phenomenal characters. They're very funny. Probably most of the comedy, hold on, I thought I saw something. Most of the comedy in this movie comes from them, and it's done well. And also Kerchak. So Kerchak is of the apes, of Tarzan's adopted father, and this guy he's really hard to please. He's kind of like the kind of a grunty, kind of, dad. He doesn't want to accept Tarzan because he's human, and feels that sometimes he endangers the pack. Also, I've forgotten the synopsis. Nala and Kerchak, Nala is the mother figure, and she's a very kind woman, very, soft-spoken, and, helps Tarzan heal through his difficult times. But they also lost a son, an ape son, to the same leopard that killed Tarzan's parents, and so they're kind of connected that way. So she kind of adopts Tarzan, and it's very sad when Tarzan is maybe about to leave for England, and you feel it in your heart, the chemistry that you feel that they really were mother and son, and it's heart-wrenching when he might have to go. And oh man, it's great when he comes back and he saves him from Clayton. So it's not much to say about Tarzan. I like the movie quite a bit. I like the dad. I like the villain. The villain you really learn to hate, even though he's another greedy dude, like most Disney villains. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I recommend it, definitely. I give it about a 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's a good Disney movie. Tarzan is great. He's got a heart of gold. You really learn to love him, similar to Quasimodo. So yeah, I recommend it. It's not a hilarious movie, but the characters are pretty fun. So that concludes my Disney Renaissance review. I hope you enjoyed it, if anybody watched it. So afterwards, Disney kind of went downhill with animation. I still like those movies in the experimental age, I like to call it. But, Pixar kind of kicked their butt, and So animation, hand-drawn animation, is kind of dead. This was kind of its last hurrah of successful hand-drawn animation. That's kind of sad. I hope one day we'll see it again from Disney. I hope so. I heard Don Bluth is thinking about coming back to do a Dragon's Lair movie. He's, trying to get Indiegogo and all that to try to bring back hand-drawn animation to America. Because, anime and all that, everywhere else it's still doing phenomenally well, hand-drawn animation. But, like, you never really see it. Like, the last truly hand-drawn animation, by Disney, of course, was Princess Blanc, but if anything, was probably the SpongeBob movie of last year. I mean, it's kind of sad. I wish there was more effort for hand-drawn animation, and I think it will return. So, hopefully people will have, future animators will be influenced by the Disney Renaissance to continue to maybe bring back hand-drawn animation. So that's it. Yeah, it's been fun. I love the Disney Renaissance. My favorite Disney movies, my favorite time period. All of them, in my opinion, are good. There's not a bad movie. Some are better than others, but I don't think any of them are bad. So that concludes this 4-episode review. It was a big one. I had to take breaks, but it was worth talking about. I had fun. So, Lopez Power Lopez signing off. Take care. God bless you. I'll try to maybe upload more in the future. It depends. I have to be inspired to put my opinions out there. And, yeah. So,